Okay, in this video I'm going to show you Fanatec settings for Forza Horizon 6, but if you're playing on any other wheel, whether that's SIMUCUBE, LOGITECH, THRUSTMASTER, MOZA, you also are going to benefit if you watch this video, because I have been shocked by how good my experience has been in Forza Horizon 6 on Fanatec. Now I need to caveat that by saying I'm using my V3 pedals that I've bought years ago and I've used for years and years and years. I'm using the Fanatec Podium DD, which is a top of the range, most expensive Fanatec base, and I'm using a Bavarian SimTech Omega V2 wheel, which is like one of the best wheels in the world. So this equipment is top notch and expensive. It's the most expensive equipment I've used probably on Forza Horizon 6 that's worked, because my SIMUCUBE stuff hasn't worked. So probably it should be really good. But I'm still shocked because Forza Horizon 6 is not regarded as a sim title. However, if you look at the way I'm driving here, if you look at the angle I have on the wheel, it's a very neutral steer way of driving. Like, this is a sim racing way of driving. And I know that this video I shot here just before launch, so the leaderboards were not massively populated, but we did go fastest in Europe and second in the world on a wheel. And I think that's a big deal because there are some big names on this leaderboard, and the vast majority will be, maybe all of them, will have been using controllers. So the fact that I can beat them on a wheel, I think, is insane for Forza Horizon 6. Like, this has been years and years and years coming. Now, it's important that I show you the settings, but I'm also going to explain why they work and what other manufacturers should do, and I'm going to show you some insane driving that you just frankly won't believe. So center spring, well, let me know if you believe it, because if you think I can do that. So center spring 0.3, wheel damper 0, mechanical control 0.2. It's the steering sensitivity 0.7 combined with the sensitivity in the Fanatec app being 540. Have a look, by the way, my force effect, intensity strength, all that's on 0. Full force doesn't matter because it doesn't work, but with 540 degrees rotation and with 0.7 sensitivity, this is breaking all of my rules. If you look at my guides for Logitech, we have a way wider wheel rotation. On Xbox, we ended up going down to 720, but that's as low as we went. THRUSTMASTER, we kept it at 1080. MOZA, we were between 900 and 800, we ended up at 800. So 540 should not work. Especially in a car like this, the AMG, which I really encourage you to drive if you've got Forza Horizon 6, because it's the most, I would say, Forza Motorsport-esque car that I've found in Forza Horizon 6. Now, on 540, this car should be spinning out on every turn. As you turn in and get on the power, it should be spinning out. But for some reason, and I think the glue here is the Fanatec Podium DD, and I'm really surprised because I'm having to run this in compatibility mode. So I'm not even in the normal mode, I'm in the yellow compatibility mode, and I thought that this will, limit how good the force feedback is. Like, it will technically work, but it's not going to be what I'm going to get on iRacing. But I do think there is something with the Fanatec Podium, the way that you just live inside the force feedback. It's so quick to come in when you're losing grip, or you want to feel the grip. It's just so quick to get into your sensation where you are with the car, that I think it means that it's possible to drive. And I'm going to even show you, I know it's controversial, but I'm going to show you me driving in third person. I'm going to show you some uncut stuff, so it's not staged or anything. I was genuinely could not believe how good this is to drive in 540, because you get the benefits, you get all of the benefits that I've told you about avoiding traffic, tight corners. When you have a smaller rotation, the sensitivity is still, decently high, 0.7, you can avoid traffic as soon as you see it. Like, it rewards you for being a good driver. Whereas the default settings on Forza Horizon 6, I think, punish drivers. Like, on a controller, if you see traffic coming, you mash the thumbstick and you're going to avoid the traffic. And it's almost like a fighting game or a dancing game. However, on a wheel, you move the wheel, but the odds are stacked against you, because if you're on 1080 rotation, even if you move the wheel significantly, you're not going to avoid that traffic in time. And you might think, oh, I'm a bad driver, I've got slow reactions. No, it might not be you. It might be because that's just sluggish. Now, the downside of running 540 degrees rotation has always been, and I found this on the other brands of wheels, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by Fanatec, I'm not an ambassador, I have discount codes with Logitech, 5% off using Kireth, discount codes with Fanatec, 5% off using Kireth, THRUSTMASTER, MOZA affiliate code. So like, I'm just trying all the hardware. I'm not an ambassador for each one. I'm not biased for any one of them. But Fanatec just, I was massively surprised because I haven't had this con of getting oversteer and then counter-steering it and putting in more oversteer and basically ending up fishtailing down the road and never getting the power down. And that's where it's so impressive that I was able to get that #1 time in Europe at the time trial circuit, because normally you're just fishtailing on that circuit, like you're not getting to power down, you have to be really smooth. But I was able to do it. So I'm just going to show you now, uncut. This is me uncut, driving in third person, which probably makes it a little bit more difficult if we're honest. Driving on a wheel in third person, sometimes it feel like it's more laggy. But the way I'm able to drive here in this very tricky Supra, which is a tough car to drive, you'll know it if you've driven it, just proves how good both, I would say, don't want to pat myself on the back, but I'd say how good my settings are, but also really I think how good the podium base is, and how good the wheel is, and how good the pedals are. Like there's no weakness in the setup. Now it's a complete overkill setup. For you'd have to be crazy to buy this setup for Forza Horizon 6. So probably no one in the world has ever done, or may ever do again, this setup on Forza Horizon 6, because it's a complete overkill. But it does show like how sim, or how intuitive, or how good you can get Forza Horizon 6 when you use it with this absolute top of the range and really refined equipment. And that's why I'm gutted that my SIMUCUBE equipment doesn't work, because I want to stretch the engine. I want to see like how good can we make this. But the footage I think speaks for itself. Like if you're driving Forza Horizon 6 on a wheel and you're struggling to go through traffic, avoid traffic, weave through traffic, you're struggling to, let's see when I get the power on here, like control this kind of car on the power, you could even see its wheel spinning and leaving tyre marks, then you'll understand like how good this is working on Fanatec. Now whether it's going to work like this on the GT DD Pro or the CSL DD Pro, I don't know. If you want me to test that, then let me know in the comments. Please, by the way, make sure you subscribe. If you're buying anything from Fanatec, use my discount code Kireth, get 5% off, because it takes me a lot of time to make these videos, basically swapping equipment, but by doing it I do get to experience unexpected things like this. And this is probably the best I've ever driven in Forza Horizon 6. I don't feel in danger I'm going to be out of control. The car looks like it kind of wants to turn in. You can see like it wants to turn in, but it's not oversteering. Either I'm on 540, I'm able to make corrections through the wheel. Everything just feels like so unbelievably tight. And that combination of sensitivity 0.7 and 540 and this Formula 1 style wheel has just worked absolute wonders. Okay, so this is a surprise. Wasn't expecting this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that you can drive better than this on your wheel and what your settings are. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.